Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Jordon Banfield, the head coach of Oakland baseball. How's it going?
It's going good, man. Going good. We're one day closer to playing a game outdoors, so everybody's excited.
So what's it been like up and out for the Golden Grizzlies this year? What are we going to expect from you guys? How has practice gone the last few weeks? Is literally games start next week.
Yeah, we're like, I don't know, I guess 12 days away, 11 days away, something like that. It's been good, man. I would tell you, obviously going into my second year here, and last year was certainly an interesting one. We've been a really good practice team this year, just very consistent in terms of the focus and effort that we brought on a daily basis. And I actually think last week was maybe the worst week we've had. I think a lot of that is just everybody antsy to get outside and sick of playing each other in a dome and just ready to go. So kind of going to chalk it up to that at this point, and certainly going to have some discussions tonight at our practice about what we need to do to be ready to go when we go out to California in a week and a half.
So let's talk about the team you got. Kind of take me around the diamond. I've done this with every coach I've talked to. Kind of talk about who's going to be out there for you guys.
Yeah, really, really excited about our roster. I think you'll see when we start talking about the different spots on the field. We got a number of guys that can factor in at a number of spots. Got a lot of versatility. Feel like we're a more athletic team, and then certainly when you get to the mound, the depth is just greatly increased. So excited about that. If you talk about positionally, start at the most important spot on the field, the catching position. Going to be two guys splitting time early. Cam Post was our 3-hole hitter last year. He hit 360, was an all-league guy. He'll certainly do some of the catching. He's a returner, fifth-year senior that we brought back after a really good year last year. And he'll play somewhere when he's not catching, either DH or first, or maybe even back in the outfield a little bit. And then Kevin Krill's guy we're excited about, true freshman, really consistent worker. Has a chance to be, the best defender back there of the guys that we have available to us right now. And excited about him, really mature guy that we think can help us right away. So he'll definitely play a little bit opening weekend too. And when you head over to first, we start to get into some of our guys with some versatility. I'd tell you that likely that will either be, Michael Steigels, another returning all-conference guy. He actually led the Horizon League in batting average during the conference last year. I think he had 380, almost 400 in the league. He'll either be there or at DH, or maybe even out in left. And Jared Miller is playing some first for us now, and is really taken to the position. He's a guy that played almost every spot on the field for us last year. He'd be a candidate to be out there as well. Then you go over to second, and again across our infield, we've got a few things that I don't want to say they're up for grabs, but we got to figure out still exactly who's going to settle in to be the full-time guy. Brad Goulet, grad transfer. He's going to play either second or short for us. Don't know which one, but he's probably our best infield defender. Guy we're excited about. He's going to help us shore up that spot. Gabe Lux, senior, one of our leaders. Super mature approach, great worker, one of the best kids I've ever coached. He's a factor at second. And then Tommy Green is a new transfer from Quest out in California. Will factor in up the middle as well. So I would say on opening day, it'll be a mix of those three guys in some capacity. Over at third, probably going to be Luke Malmanger to start with. Guy who's back from last year, senior as well, that has another year of eligibility. So he'll probably get the nod their opening day. Really consistent defender. Looking for him to take a step forward on offense, which he's certainly capable of, but need to see him do it. And then Brandon Nye, another true freshman that's probably been our top freshman, going back throughout the, since the fall, and he'll be a factor there as well. We'll get him in their opening weekend at some point, and he's also a factor on the mound. Get into the outfield a little bit more solidified. Brendan Phillips be our everyday right fielder. At least to start with. He's a fifth-year senior, was with us last year. Really solid player, hitting the middle of the order for us, and looking for him to reach his full potential on offense. But he played a lot of center field for us last year, and certainly should be above average in right. Then in center field, Seth Tucker, another fifth-year senior, was a Division III transfer. I brought in when I got the job last year, and was clearly our most talented outfield defender. We played him more in the corners. He just hadn't really taken that step forward in terms of, taking control of the field and all that last year. And now he really has. He's made as big of a jump mentally in 1 year as I've ever seen from a guy. He's one of our captains now, and he'll be our everyday center fielder. Then in left, it'll be most likely one of those guys, from the other spots, either Steigels or Gabe Lux. And you could possibly see Ian Cleary out there as well. He's a left-handed bat that can really do some good things on offense, and we've been looking for him to take a step on defense, and I'm optimistic that he's done that. So he'll be a factor somewhere there as well. So positionally, that's kind of what we're looking at.
Let's talk about the pitching staff. What do we have there?
Yeah, that's certainly what I'm most excited about. Going back to last year, and you look at, we had a decent year, I guess, and most wins since 2016, I think, but didn't feel like we were a very complete team, and we needed to get better in a couple areas. And the glaring ones were on the mound and infield defense. We played very poor defense on the infield. I'm certain that we'll be better there. And on the mound, we didn't have any depth. We got past about our fourth, maybe fifth guy, and we were nervous, to be honest with you. And this year, it's a battle to make the travel squad opening weekend. I don't. The bottom and middle of our pitching staff is now made up of guys that I'm confident can go out there and do well for us. And to be frank, that wasn't the case last year. So opening weekend, two guys will be in the rotation for sure. Be Bryce Conitzer and Jacob Wozinski. Bryce ended up being our Friday starter last year. Super competitive guy, one of our leaders, also a senior, but that will be back next year. Then Jacob Wozinski is the most talented guy on our pitching staff. He's now a year and a half off Tommy John. He looks great. He looks healthy. He's confident. He's not worried about it anymore. And he's been 91 to 95, 6'8", really good breaking ball. So we're excited about him, and hopefully being full strength for us throughout the year. Those two will be in there for sure. And game 3 opening weekend, probably one of two left-handers, either Travis Densmore or Chaz Sagadol. Those are the two guys opening weekend that they're probably factoring in for that third spot at this point. Dens was with us last year, and Chaz, a grad transfer from Dallas Baptist, that was a junior college All-American out of southeastern Iowa. So excited about both of them, both really throwing the ball well. Dens' stuff has jumped significantly, and Chaz is what he is. He's a really competitive left-hand pitcher that commands the heck out of his fastball, and controls the run game, does all the stuff that you look for out of an older guy. And we got a number of other guys too that would be in the mix. Quentin Kajawa was probably our best pitcher in the fall. He's a grad transfer from Murray State, had a good year for them last year. And he was probably our most consistent and top guy throughout the fall. He had a little minor elbow deal, so he's just behind schedule a little bit. Won't be built up enough to start opening weekend. We'll probably use him on the back end. Christian Stelling, another guy that would be in that mix, that is a Division II transfer from Illinois Springfield. Went to Jeffco in Missouri for junior college. Was able to get him this summer, and knew we were getting a talented guy. Was also coming off surgery. I didn't know he was this good. He's been, a lower 90s guy with a really, really tight curveball. Excited about him and being able to fill potentially a number of roles for us, either out of the bullpen or potentially in the rotation down the line once his pitch count gets built up enough. And you got, other guys. Brett Hagan's been really good for us. Junior college transfer out of California, Modesto, 3-pitch guy, probably the best command on the team. There's a number of guys that we're excited about putting out there. Brandon Decker's an NAIA transfer, showing some really good stuff. Benny Paw got a chance to be, maybe our closer. Not sure that we'll have a defined closer, but he was a freshman last year, made all freshmen for the Horizon League. His stuff has ticked up, and his confidence has ticked up, and really, really excited about him. So I'm sure I'm leaving some off too, but really excited about the group of, 10, 12, 14 arms that we feel like can give us a chance. And that's what you need.
So let's talk about the Horizon League for a second. Where do you think the league's at, and how are you guys going to really kind of stand out in that?
Yeah. Obviously last year being my first year in the league, but I grew up in the Midwest. I'm a Midwest guy and familiar with the league coming in. it starts and stops with Wright State. I don't have a problem saying that. Their team last year is as good a mid-major team as I've ever seen. In any part of the country. They were absolutely loaded. I told everybody that would listen that they were going to beat Tennessee in the opening game of the regional, and they almost did. They had a 3-run lead in the last inning. They could have played with anybody in the country. So definitely starts and stops with them. They lost a lot of high end guys, but they'll reload. Talent will not be an issue. So certainly they're at the forefront. And historically, you look at UIC has been up there and been a really quality team. Well coached, disciplined on offense, play quality defense, throw a lot of strikes. Expect them to do that again. I think after that, it's a little bit up in the air. You look at last year, Youngstown State took a big step forward. They're doing a really good job. Lost some key pieces, but I'm sure that they'll again be a really strong club. Milwaukee's a team I'd look to be even better than they were last year. Just with the amount of guys that they bring back. So I think it's going to be a good test for us to make a move and get up into that top half of the league. That's certainly the goal, and that's what we want to do.
All right. Let's obviously you talk about getting to that top half. What do you need to do to get there though?
Yeah, I think the simple thing would be to tell you that we need to pitch it better, and we need to play better defense on the infield. Offensively, if we're just the same as we were last year, we're capable of doing that. We were a top half offensive club last year in the league. We need to pitch it better. We need to play better defense on the infield. But beyond that, we need to be tougher. We need to be mentally better. We need to, nobody's going to go 56-0. We need to handle adversity better. We need to show up expecting to win, regardless of what happened the day before, because it's baseball and anything can happen. We need to be a mentally tougher unit. From top to bottom, starting with me and all the way down to our 37th guy. We went out last year towards the end of the year and had 4, 5, and 6-run leads on Wright State, one of the best teams in the country, and couldn't hang on to any of them. Some of that was we just didn't have enough on the mound to hang in there against a club that was that good. But if we were a little tougher, we'd have been able to sneak 1 or 2 of those out. And I've seen big growth from us this year, from the guys on our leadership council have done a tremendous job to, Seth Tucker and Michael Steigels, our captains. I just think where our program is at, I'm optimistic about right now. And I think all of our guys are, but the true test will be, can we maintain that level of confidence and conviction that we have what it takes, when something doesn't go right, because inevitably it won't. So I'm excited to see that and confident that we'll be able to do it.
All right. Well, Jordon, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and good luck this season, and we'll have you on again sometime.
Thanks for having me, Casey. I look forward to doing it again.